We have arrived at the final module in the course. Up to this point, we have gone through the 4 steps in the writing process. We have gone over some grammar rules. We have looked at 5 different rhetorical modes when writing paragraphs. Well, now we're ready to put all those paragraphs together and talk about writing an essay. And an essay is similar to a paragraph in that it makes a point, which now is going to be called the thesis, and it also uses supporting evidence to develop that point. However, instead of only using a couple of sentences to develop each point is now going to get its own body paragraph. Now, the reason we do this is that in an essay, subjects are treated more fully than they would be in a single paragraph. We can tackle bigger topics. We can provide even more detailed analysis. We can really go further in developing that point. But this means that all of these supporting points that we have, like when we did our pre-writing and our step 2 and we picked our best supporting points, we're going to need more specific evidence. We're going to need to take those supporting points to the next level. This might involve doing research. It might involve doing even more pre-writing to generate even more ideas, more specific evidence. We do not simply add filler or wordiness or repetition to add length. Now, the paragraphs that we have been writing throughout this course are going to be the building blocks of the essay. An essay typically has 5 paragraphs. Now, 5 is not a magic number. They can certainly have more than 5 paragraphs, but you typically won't have fewer than 5 paragraphs. Those 5 paragraphs will include 1 introduction paragraph, at least 3 body paragraphs. The body paragraphs are like the paragraphs we have been writing thus far in the course. And then we're going to have also a conclusion paragraph. This is typically how we structure an essay. We start out with that introduction paragraph, then we have the 3 body paragraphs in a row, and then finally a conclusion paragraph. So if you're going to outline or do a sketch outline of your essay, this is the general form that it would need to take. Now, each of the paragraphs in the essay need to be indented, double spaced, and have no extra lines skipped between them. Over the next few videos, we're going to take a look at how to write an introduction paragraph, because that paragraph is a little different than the paragraphs we've been writing so far. We're going to talk about how to write body paragraphs, which do follow all the same rules that we've been learning throughout the course. And then finally, how to write a conclusion paragraph, which is also a little different from what we've done so far. So stick with us, and in the next video, we're going to discuss writing the introduction.